What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. With my prediction videos, I've been slipping a little bit lately. There's some predictions. The last one made me kind of mad because the Lucas Matisse Lamont Peterson, I had already recorded the video. I just didn't get to put it up, and then I ended up going to Florida, so it never got up. So I just hate being like, oh, that was my prediction after the fact, since I don't have the video up before the actual results of the fight. So I'm gonna try to get better with the prediction videos. Like I said, I've been pretty swamped, and I chose to put up other videos first when I should have got the prediction video out. So I apologize for that. Again, I'm gonna try to get my prediction videos out promptly before the fight, so we can all discuss it and see what the end result is. So as far as Josesito Lopez versus Marcos Maidana, I wanted to talk about that fight and really just break it down, give you my insight, what I think as far as the fight. Um, I like the matchup a lot. I think both fighters are deserving of this fight. It's a fight that makes sense. They were initially trying to get Josesito and Amir Khan at a catchweight. I like this fight better. Um, Another thing, I don't really understand why Amir Khan was trying to fight Josesito Lopez, someone who just is two fights removed from the 140-pound division. He's only fought at 147 against Ortiz, and then he went up to 154 and got dominated by Canelo. Um, but he's two fights removed from the 140-pound division, and Amir Khan keeps balking and saying in interviews that he's going to move up to 147 like right now. So instead of fighting Julio Diaz, they were talking about fighting Josesito Lopez, but they were trying to do it at a catch weight close to 140, like 142, 143. And Josesito Lopez said after moving up to 154 to face Canelo, he refuses to go all the way back down or that close to 140. So that fight got scrapped, did get made. I reported about it when that news was relevant and current. So it's just weird to me that Amir Khan says he's moving up to 147, yet he was trying to get Sinchenko or Josesito Lopez at a catchweight. Doesn't really make sense. Back to Maidana versus Josesito Lopez. Again, I like this fight better. No catchweights. Maidana has been at 147. Maybe I know he fought Devin Alexander. He fought in Argentina, and he fought Jesus Soto Caras. Yeah, so he's at least three fights deep off the top of my head in the welterweight division. And probably his weakest performance would be the one against Devin Alexander. That was pre Robert Garcia. And I really like the work Robert Garcia is doing with Maidana. I think is most apparent in the Soto Caras fight. And actually, I didn't see the fight in Argentina. I just know he won via TKO. He kind of just went back home to, I think he fought a bum. But it was really apparent in the Soto Caras fight. He was using a jab. I even seen him, like, his movement, his stamina looked a little bit better. I really like the jab, and I even seen him fighting off the ropes, and it looks like his defense was slightly improved as well. So I hope we keep seeing this trend, and if he looks good and he gets past Josesito Lopez, I'd like to see maybe even a Devin Alexander rematch to see how they look. Devin Alexander just beat Lee Purdy. He's trying to get a Mayweather payday. Maybe put those guys in, and the winner face Mayweather or something like that. Um, they're already at welterweight, and if they're already on win streaks, both of them. Whoever wins, if they were to have the Devin Alexander Maidana rematch, whoever wins that means there'd be at least a 2 or 3 fight win streak with some solid performances. Again, Maidana beat Jesus Soto Caras, the guy in Argentina, and if he beat Devin Alexander in the rematch, that's 3 solid wins. Give him a Mayweather fight. I think Maidana's been in there with some of the best, some hard hitters. He's been in there with the Eric Moraleses. He's been in there with the Victor Ortiz. He doesn't really duck anybody. He's been in there with Devin Alexander. So I think that would be a good plateau, to get a Mayweather fight. Or same thing, if Devin Alexander wins, um, he beat Maidana, he beat Randall Bailey, he beat Lee Purdy. So if he beats Maidana again, then that'll be 3 or 4 consecutive performances that were solid to the point where I think a Mayweather fight would be warranted. But who knows, because Mayweather said he's trying to fight in September. As far as Josesito and Maidana, again, I like the fight. I'm going to pick Marcos Maidana. I think he's going to TKO Josesito Lopez probably round 6 or 7. That's what I'm guessing. Again, I think Josesito Lopez is going to give a very valiant game effort, and he's the type of fighter, he's not going to back down until you physically make him, just like Canelo. He wasn't going to give up, but he just had to get overpowered and feel the pressure and the power of Canelo, and ultimately it was just too much and it got stopped. So I see something similar with that with Marcos Maidana. We all know he's a heavy hitter. Um, Victor Ortiz was doing some good work with Josesito Lopez. That fight was really back and forth, but Victor Ortiz had an edge based on his offense. He was landing the harder shots before his jaw was broken. And Marcos Maidana, he's just a badass. He's tough. He has a chin. He has pop. He has power. And I don't think he's mentally built like Victor Ortiz, where he would just crumble and kind of get so frustrated. I mean, I have seen him frustrated in the Soto Karass fight. He was frustrated. I think he hit after the bell or hit behind the head or something. But still, I wouldn't put him on the mental fragility list like a Zab Judah or Victor Ortiz or whoever. So I'm favoring Marcos Maidana for this fight. I'm looking for a very good competitive fight early on in the early rounds. Josesito is going to test the water. Again, he's also a smaller fighter. He's mostly fought at lower weight divisions. I think Marcos Maidana has a bigger frame. He has the punching power. I just see him winning this fight somehow, some way, most likely by a 6th or 7th round TKO stoppage. I don't know that he'll knock Josesito Lopez out cold, but I do see him stopping Josesito Lopez, again, the smaller fighter. Um, if you watch the Josesito Lopez versus Victor Ortiz, Josesito Lopez's face at the very end, you couldn't tell. That's why they're calling him the Mexican Rocky and all kinds of stuff. You couldn't tell he was the winner because his face, aside from Victor Ortiz swelling from his broken jaw, his face looked lumped up. It looked pretty beat up, like the end of a Rocky movie. So we know Josesito Lopez can get hit. He doesn't have an impeccable defense or anything like that. So I think Maidana's powers are going to be too much, again, with the tutelage of Robert Garcia. And to my knowledge, Robert Garcia's schedule is pretty calm right now. So he's probably getting in a lot of good work with Maidana. If you go back a couple months, Brandon Rios and Nonito Donaire versus Rigondeaux and Rios versus Alvarado 2, those fights were, the training camps were basically concurrent. So Nonito was off in Vegas or whatever, not in Oxnard for most of his training camp with other people. And Robert Garcia kind of came at the tail end and worked with him because he was working with Brandon Rios, preparing him for Alvarado Part 2. But again, to my knowledge, I don't think Robert Garcia has any other training camps going on currently for big fighters. Gradovich, the Mexican-Russian, I don't think he has any fights. Nonito Donaire is with his pregnant wife, expecting a baby. Brandon Rios, his fight is not until November against Pacquiao. So, to me, from what I can see, I think it's probably all eyes on Maidana, Josesito Lopez. So, I think he's going to get in some good work, some good concentrated work. He's been working with Maidana. Maidana, a great thing about Maidana from what I've seen on ES News and different interviews and coverage is Maidana is a fighter who it looks like he just wants to fight and he's willing to learn. And that's a real big thing. You have to be willing to learn. Some people switch trainers and like a Chavez Jr. He got Freddie Roach training him, but sometimes it doesn't seem like he's really trying to take in what Freddie Roach is telling him. He seems kind of young and spoiled in some regard. Even Chavez Sr., sometimes his pops is trying to tell him useful information. He was telling him on the 24/7 some useful information on how to fight a guy like Sergio Martinez, and he was eating like Lucky Charms or like Cookie Crisp or some shit, and it didn't. He's like, yeah, like it looks like he was brushing him off, like not paying attention. So with Maidana, it's good because it looks like he's there to learn. He's a pupil, he's a student, which is what he should be. And Robert Garcia is the former boxer slash current trainer with a lot of boxing knowledge. So the two working together looks like it's a good fit. Let me know what you guys think of this fight, Josesito Lopez versus Marcos Maidana. Also, make sure you check out my series called The Matchup. I did one. It'll be in the video responses. Josesito Lopez versus Marcos Maidana. Check it out. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Hate, comment, subscribe. You guys know the routine. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.